Going to be doing a full body dumbbell workout routine you can do at home. That means the only thing you're going to need today is a set of dumbbells. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit that like button for me to help me out. It supports the channel and lets me know you want more content like this. So thank you for your help. So today we're gonna start with a warm-up, getting blood flow into the muscles we're gonna be working. So for this, I like to start out with a light set of dumbbells. Now, if you don't have a light set of dumbbells, you can do this with just arm weight or do less reps just till you start feeling a little bit more warmed up in your shoulders. So what I'm gonna do is start with a pec fly. Now, some of you will know that I didn't used to like this exercise, doing it on a bench. I found doing it on the floor gives my shoulders extra stability, where that floor is really adding security to my shoulders, to that posterior deltoid, or not posterior deltoid, I'm sorry, to the anterior deltoid, the front of my shoulder. So for this, for a pec fly, you're gonna start with your hands right over the top of your shoulders, bring the hands out to the sides, tap the ground, and then back up. This is working the muscles in your chest and then a little bit of your bicep as well, and a little bit of the front of the shoulder as well. But that ground gives that extra support, so as we get further and further out, you're not really putting a ton of extra pressure on your shoulder because the ground actually helps support your shoulders, but you can still get an amazing stretch for a full range motion on your chest. Now, when you bring the dumbbells back together, don't bring them all the way back together where they hit together. Just go to where you're right over the top of your shoulders, and that's fine. Doing about 10 reps of this, getting some blood flow into your shoulders. Now, the goal of this is not to be strenuous yet. It's not to be tired out by this. It's to get your body ready to go for the exercises we have ahead. So if it's tiring, you're going too heavy too fast. Next, we're gonna do a standing bent over row. Now for this, I always like to pair exercises together. So we just did a pushing movement. Now we're going to do a pulling movement. So you're going to lean forward, keeping your back straight, let your arms hang down with your thumbs pointed in. So from here, you're gonna pull up to the back, pinching your shoulder blades together, and then back down. Now, having the thumbs in emphasizes more of the muscles up in the back of your shoulder, and you still get some lat, but not as much, but more of these muscles in and around your shoulder blades have to engage. So, going here, bending over, pulling up to the back. This is with those thumbs pointed in, emphasizing more of those shoulder muscles, those pulling shoulder muscles. Going for about 10 reps. Now, you shouldn't feel this really heavily in your lower back. If you need to, you can even put your hips against the wall as you bend forward. Or if that's too much on your low back, what you can do instead is do one arm at a time using a wall for support, pulling up to the back. And that'll take a lot of the pressure off your lower back. So I'm going to move up in weight now to a little bit heavier of a dumbbell. If you don't have a heavier dumbbell, try and add extra reps instead. So we're still gonna be aiming for that 10 rep amount, unless you have only one dumbbell weight, then try for a more reps. You can either add extra weight or add extra reps. the end result is the same thing. So, going here, arms right over the top of my shoulders, and then bringing the hands out to the sides, and then back in, feeling that in my chest as I go out and back in. Doing pec flies, trying for 10 reps. Breathing out, in and out. Don't hold your breath. And 10. And bend your arms, drop the dumbbells to the sides, and stand back up. Now, if you're following along, we're going to be going for a bent over row with thumbs pointed in. Going here, pulling up to your chest, and then back down. Trying for 10 reps of this. So keeping that back flat. You should feel this all in your shoulders, not in your low back. Same thing with this. You want to keep it where the dumbbells don't hit together as you come back down. And that's 10. We're gonna go one more time on each of these exercises. So when we repeat an exercise, it helps the muscle grow faster. It increases what's called the amount of volume we're doing with that muscle. And the more volume we have, the faster that muscle grows. So we're gonna do one more set with each of these exercises. There we go. Now trying to go for 10 reps again with a pec fly. So on the ground, laying on your back, dumbbells right over the top of your shoulders, trying to keep good form all the way through this movement. So you don't want to have any twisting. You want your hands to stay straight up and down, going out to the sides, and then back in towards the middle. Going down, tapping your elbows on the ground, and then back up towards the middle. 5, 6, 7, you should feel that chest muscle working. 8, 9, and 10. And relax. So you should feel fatigue in those chest muscles. We're working the pectorals, which go all the way from here in your shoulder into your breastplate bone or your sternum, right in here. So we're working that big piece of muscle right here. Now, the complement to that, we're working these muscles in the back, that middle trap, posterior deltoid, some rhomboids. So the muscle in and around your shoulder blade. So now we're gonna do a bent over row, one more set. Leaning towards the front, let your arms hang towards the ground, and then pinch your shoulder blades together, pulling up to the back. 2. I like to look up towards the front because that helps me keep my back straight. and relax. So with that, we hit a lot of the muscles up in the chest and the shoulders. Now we're gonna work the muscles down here in the arms. So for this, go into a lighter dumbbell. And we're going to do a wall curl. So with this, you lean against the wall, bring your elbows in against your rib cage. Okay, so the elbows stay against the rib cage, the back stays against the wall the whole time. From here, you're gonna bring your hands up to the front of your shoulders and then back down. Up and down 10 times. Keeping that back flat against the wall, those elbows tucked in. That stops any sort of swinging motion, so you can't use momentum. It's all from the muscle, not from the momentum of the movement. Should feel that burn in your upper arm. And 10. So with this, we're working the muscle right here in your upper arm. That bicep muscle goes across the front of your arm from the inside of your elbow up to your shoulder. Now we're gonna work the tricep and the deltoid muscles in here. And with that, we're gonna do a vertical press. So we're gonna pair the bicep curl with the vertical press. So for this, you're gonna start with the dumbbells right on the front of your chest. Make sure there's nothing above you that you're gonna hit, like a light or something, or a fan. I have a fan right at the top of the room, so I've gotta be careful. So for this, I want my dumbbells to stay right over the top of my shoulders. I don't want them to come in together. I'm just pushing straight up towards the ceiling and then back down. Okay? So this is working those top of the shoulder muscles and the back of the arm in that tricep. So pushing up and down all the way, tap your shoulders, trying for 10 reps. I like to look up to help keep my body in the right configuration for this. So I'm not leaning, I'm not arching, I'm just looking up towards the ceiling. And 10, and relax. So I personally feel that a lot in the front of my shoulder, but we're also working these tricep muscles as well as some of the traps up here in the upper neck. So we're working with the curl, we're working the flexing muscles, and with the press, we're working the extending muscles. So we're doing both sides of the arm. So if you're looking to build up your arm size, you want to not only do biceps, you want to do triceps, you want to build up both sides of that arm to really fill out those sleeves. Sorry about that. All right, one more set of biceps. So doing a wall curl, back against the wall, elbows tucked into your rib cage. So we should feel pushing against that rib cage. So from here, head back against the wall, curling up to the front, really putting all that force into the bicep. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. Should feel that really burning in your upper arm. All right, and bring the dumbbells up to the top of your shoulder. Remember, not the top of your neck, top of your shoulder, keep them wide. So from here, looking up, pushing up towards the ceiling into a vertical press. You should feel that in the back of your arm and the top of your shoulder. 5, 6, you feel that burning in your arms right about now. 7, 8, 9, and 10, and relax. Now, if you can't get to 10 reps, that is okay, especially if you only have one weight of dumbbell. Anything over 5 reps is just fine. Now, if the dumbbells you have are a little too heavy, if you want to do a 1 pound weight, you can always fill up a water bottle, just make sure it's sealed, and do a 1 pound weighted, because these are a 16-ounce water bottle. It's a good use for a 1 pound or a 2 pound, because sometimes some of them are 32. Just make sure it's not going to spill on you. But it's a great starting weight if you're feeling like the shoulders really need less than the dumbbells you have. That's a way you can improvise a weight. Remember, the body doesn't really care where the force is coming from. It could be a piece of steel or iron, or it could be a jug of water, or for some people, it's their kids or grandkids. You know, you think about it, maybe you're lifting up your toddler who weighs 10, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, lifting him up, same sort of thing. And that's why I want to help strengthen the muscles in your body so you can live the way you want to live. You would hate it if you couldn't lift up your kid or your grandkid. So I want to help encourage you to strengthen, keep those muscles healthy so you can do that, so you can live out your life and do what you want to do. So that's what we're doing here. We're trying to keep strong and healthy bodies. I think a big part of that is strengthening your muscles. We all lose muscles as we age. So we want to counter that by putting resistance training on those muscles and help keeping them strong and healthy. So big part of that is your legs. So now we're going to work some of these muscles in the front of the thigh especially. So for this, we're going to do a bodyweight squat. So you won't need any extra equipment. What we're going to do is have your arms crossed across your chest or out in front of you for balance, whatever feels comfortable for you. Feet about shoulder width apart. You're going to bend your knees, going as low as you can, keeping your back straight. So I'm not bending forward, I'm bending with the knees, trying to keep that back straight through the entire movement. So I just bend straight down and back up. So trying for about 10 reps of these. You should feel this right here in the front of your quads. And let's go ahead and do these together. Bending down and back up. That extra depth is really what tensions these muscles in the front of the thigh. And we want to be strong through that full range of motion, not just in the upper half, but all the way to the ground. I still have a little bit of bruising around this left knee, or a little bit of inflammation still. So I'm starting with body weight, building that back up before jumping into heavier weights using dumbbells. Now, if you wanted to use dumbbells, you could always do this holding a dumbbell in front like this, doing that same body weight squat. That's totally fine. For right now, I'm sticking to body weight till that knee fully heals rather than adding extra weight on top of it. So hopefully that just takes time, but I'd rather do this gradually rather than re-injuring. So now we just worked muscles in the front of the thigh. Now we're gonna work the hamstrings and a little bit of the glutes. And this exercise is called a golf pickup. So what you're gonna do, still with feet about shoulder width apart, you're going to reach down towards your toes by driving your hips backwards. You could do this standing about a step away from a wall. I want you to think about pushing your hips into that wall. So push backwards with your hips, keeping your back straight. I'm hinging from the hips, not from the back, none of this. So back stays straight. See how I push my hips backwards? And that's gonna really tension these hamstring muscles, which will stretch and strengthen them at the same time. So if you're looking for hamstring flexibility, this is a great exercise because it will stretch them and strengthen them in that stretch position. So reaching down, driving those hips backwards. Trying for 10 reps. Really pushing my hips out towards the back. And 10. Should feel that stretching along the hamstring as well. I know last week I did these and I felt it for a couple days after. The hamstring was a little bit tender. So it doesn't take a whole lot to help to really work that hamstring, because we can stretch it across two joints, both the hip joint and the knee joint. And that's what we're doing here with this. So going back to bodyweight squats, feet shoulder width apart, hands in front or crossed. Just, what I don't want to see is hands on the knees. None of that. Because then we're actually rounding forward usually. We're not putting the weight onto the legs. It's not good. So hands up here, out of your way. So bending the knees, going as low as you can, trying to go as low to the floor as possible without rounding your back. If you can, try and touch the back of your thigh to the back of your calf. 4, trying for 10 reps. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relax. And one more set of golf pickups for the back of the thigh. So feet shoulder width apart, driving your hips backwards, keeping that back straight. So 1, 2, 3. If all you can do is go to where your hands are touching your knees, that's okay. 4. Try and go as low as you can while keeping that back straight. Might be as you do this, you're able to get lower and lower each time. That's good. That means the muscle is gaining that flexibility, that pliability, and your body is actually readjusting your nerves to let your muscle really support this movement. We're actually retuning our nerves as we do this. You have a thing called the Golgi tendon organ, or the GTO. That's a defense mechanism for your muscle. But as we use our muscle, that helps recalibrate that to where you're able to move through a larger range of motion without injury. All right, So that covers the majority of the muscles all through our body. We're gonna add just one more bonus exercise for that deltoid muscle. Now I like to emphasize this one because it helps broaden your shoulders, and the deltoid controls all of the shoulder movements. These fine-tuned shoulder movements, front, back, up to the side. So I want to emphasize that a little bit more today. So what we're going to do is a leaning lateral raise. Now you do not need a heavy dumbbell for this. So any sort of light dumbbell is a great place to start with. So I'm going to lean to the side against a wall. Now I've got a post. You could do this leaning like this against a wall just fine. Just make sure your hand is straight out to the side. So it's not front or back. It's right in line with your shoulder. And from here, you're gonna lift up to the side as high as your shoulder. So just like you're making one half a snow angel, lifting up and then back down, going for 10 reps. Now this leaning motion helps us align more where gravity is pushing down on the muscle, so we don't have to go as high and we don't risk pinching the shoulder. So if you have discomfort in your shoulders doing lateral raises, this is a great option for you because you get the same benefit with less range, with less upper range to it. You have a greater lower range, so you're still getting the same benefit, if not a greater one actually, because we're putting more of that force down at this lower portion where it's more likely to be muscle building. So I'm going to try and match the same number of reps on each side. So if I did 10 on one side, I'm going to do 10 on the other. Trying to keep my thumb pointed straight towards the front. And 10. How are we doing for time? Okay, we'll finish up with one more set of these. Really getting everything we can out of that shoulder muscle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, should be burning 8, 9, and 10. And relax. All right, if you like these sort of workouts and want to see more, hit that subscribe button for me. You're here at the end, so thank you for being here through the whole workout. Hope to see you guys live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So subscribe.